How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Absolutely, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You're doing a talk, are you?
Yeah, a little question and answer, and then we're doing one tonight. We do definitely reinforce the academic side of things. We definitely reinforce how hard it is. You know, it's a job. This is a job when they go. This will be the hardest thing that most any of your kids will ever go through. Doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means you got to treat it as such, right? Somebody's always trying to take your spot. Somebody's always no different than your job. If, you know, Dad, if you decide you just want to quit working and just show up and just go through the motions for the next 6 months, they're probably going to try to find somebody to replace you, right? Same thing. Same thing. So kind of midway through official day one here on our big trip through Australia and New Zealand. We're here in Ballarat that just did a Q&A. First time we've really done one in one of those fashions to where it's not really a designated seminar, but it's definitely information and you know, addressing kind of the bullet points, if you will, that most families and most parents have. Really good, really good. The families had some great questions, so we've got a couple more of those throughout this week, which I think are going to be absolutely fantastic. So the cool part about this is, you know, it's always interesting to have families understand and really help them understand how early this process actually starts for athletes. And, you know, starting in year 9, year 10 is the most ideal time, and why. And, you know, it still never surprises me that even though we've been doing this for a long time and we've been educating a lot of families still just don't know the time that it takes and how early you need to start and why, because of the academics, because of the exposure, because of the visits, because of all those different things. So that's really, really cool. Second part that's really cool in all of this is we've got Nate full on now. We're here. As we've mentioned and prefaced 1,000 different times, my goal in this, and to put pressure on Nate, but also put pressure on me as well, is my goal in this now also as well, is for this to become a, you know, a real true documentary of my life. You know, definitely be parts of my life I won't show, mainly some of my family and my personal stuff, but you know, my business world life, my goal is to show this and show this to the world, to show you guys how hard we do work and how hard this stuff really is, and the true, real, raw, uncut details. We definitely missed some filming coming from all our transitions and bouncing around and getting here, but we're full on now. We're wide open into it, and you know, today we're going to be bouncing around. You know, it's the glitz and the glamour, right? It's not that at all. We're in a town remotely 2 hours, hour and a half outside of Melbourne. You know, we're here, we've got 6 hours downtime before a seminar tonight, so it'll be working on the fly, working out of the car, working out of a coffee shop, working out of a fish and chip shop, or wherever we end up going for lunch. So I'm excited, I'm pumped, I'm energized to share this. It's going to be a challenge for Nate, it's going to be a challenge for me, but I think we're both up for the challenge and really excited for you guys to get to take this in. I'll definitely recap, I'm sure, more tonight after it's all said and done and we get back to the Airbnb at 10, 11, 12 o'clock tonight after dinner. So as always, really appreciate you guys checking out what I do, what the team does. And you know, we're going to keep bringing you this raw and uncut. Massive day. First full-on day on this tour. First full-on day of us starting this whole trip. So not just a trip in this trip, but a trip in putting out some content myself every day. Today's been pretty tiring. You can tell my voice is gone. I've kind of done 2 talks today. Unbelievable amount of families here in Ballarat. It's all, man, I tell you what, it never, ever it never gets old talking to the families who love and care about their kids so much. This is great. Definitely some opportunities going to come out of today. I'm pretty zapped. We got about an hour and 20-minute drive back into Melbourne. Today will be the longest drive of it all. We got to drive tomorrow evening, which will be a bit challenging, but we don't have as far of a drive during the day. Nate and Steve did a big time. This is their first trip to Australia. It's Nate's first international trip, so definitely some adjustments. He absolutely ate up 25 gigabytes of data in one day, but that's a story for a whole nother vlog. Really proud of how they've kind of come together and fixing, and you know, at the end of this, they're gonna have both a new appreciation and affinity for each other, but also for, I think, the job. And I think they're already starting to see that in just one or two of these sessions and hearing the families. And I'm gonna be honest with you, yes, we help athletes and we help families and all of that, but this is why I do what I do. And for me, it's about creating as many opportunities as I can for as many young adults, for as many families, for as many communities as possible. And it's a culture that I'm trying to create. It's definitely a culture that we've instilled within this country, within certain segments of the athletic community, if you will. And that's to do the right thing, to be honest, to work your butt off, and to not settle for anything less than the best. So I challenge you to not settle for anything less than the best. Now, don't make your best someone else's best. Make your best your best, whatever that is. Whatever that quality of life is, whatever you want. If you want a quality of life like Nate, where you want to get all the experience in the world and travel around the world and deal with sports, and that's your passion and love in life, then move to some random state where you don't know anybody and around a bunch of guys and girls that you don't know that want to accept you in as a family, and it's going to be tough and it's going to be hard. If your success is just having a job that most people look at as some dead-end job, but you love it and that's your thing, and you got just enough money to go to the next state over for vacation once every summer, but you're happy, that's okay too. So do whatever makes you happy. Chase your version of success. I love you guys. I'm coming back to you tomorrow.